What's up, dude? How you doing?
I'm good.
You good? How was donating plasma?
It was fine. Yeah,
Was
it
there a
was
lot of
good.
people, or was it just you?
Yeah, it was actually pretty busy today.
Really? Like, is there like lines of people that go to go donate plasma, or is it usually just like one or two people?
I'm sorry. Can
Is
you
it
repeat?
like is it like a line of people that go donate plasma, or is it more just like you and like two other people, or is it pretty crowded?
It just depends on what time you go.
Okay.
Yeah, so normally when I go in the morning,
Uh huh.
like really early in the morning,
Yeah, it's like
there's
nobody.
hardly anyone there.
That's
But
crazy.
when I go more towards the evening,
Mm-hmm.
that's when a lot of people are there because with their school schedules and everything and work,
Okay. Okay.
it's
Nice.
like
Nice.
that's when they go.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I mean?
yeah. I've never donated plasma, so I don't even know what it's like. But I've just seen it on movies. I remember seeing it on The Office, and I remember they did it in like a little RV trailer, and that looked kind of sketch. But I think they were donating blood, so I think
Oh,
it's a little
really?
different.
Well, I mean, I'll tell any college student if you're not afraid of needles and you want a way to make some money,
Uh-huh.
donate
I'm
plasma.
such a baby when it comes to needles, though.
Donate
I
plasma.
need to work on that. But that's crazy. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast today, Braden.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
really
Thanks for
appreciate it.
having me.
Yeah, dude. Can you give us a little introduction of who you are, where you're from, and what you're going into here at college?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Braden Latimer. I'm from Orem, Utah. Uh, I am going into public health. So that's what I'm studying,
Mm-hmm.
and with an emphasis in health science. So I like more of the science part of health.
Mm-hmm. That's sick.
But yeah, that's what I'm going into.
How long have you been here at college for?
I've been at college since winter of 2022, so that would have been January
Okay. So
2022.
that's about three. Wait, we're in 2025, so it's been about 3 years since you've been
Yeah,
here. Okay, and
yeah,
you're close to finishing up, right?
yeah. So I'm a senior. I'm a senior right now.
That's awesome. That is so cool. What has been your experience here at college?
It's been good.
Mhm.
Um, there's if you have good friends at college,
Mhm.
it makes the college experience a lot better.
I
But
definitely
for
agree with that.
someone that struggles at making friends or being social, college can be daunting for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah,
But for me, it's been good. I've been blessed with great roommates, and I mean, I think BYU Idaho in general is just a great university to attend because you get that one-on-one interaction with your professors,
yeah.
and they really want you to succeed.
Oh yeah. I
And
feel love there.
yeah, and I feel like there's also a community as well with the students here that nobody is trying to up another.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're all in this together, trying to succeed. So
I like that. It's a sense of unity rather than other schools. It's kind of like I got to get a better grade than you. 'Cause
exactly.
if I lose the scholarship, then you get the scholarship. And it's kind of like a doggy dog world a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And like you were saying, I like that aspect as far as there's just not much of a competition aspect.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome. That's
yeah.
super cool. Okay, well I got this nice little handy notebook today. These are my questions that I'll be asking you. So get ready for them.
Okay, ready.
Who or what inspired you to pursue a career in the public health?
Yeah, that's a great question. I wouldn't say there was anyone specific that inspired me
Okay.
in wanting to pursue a career in public health.
Mm-hmm.
It was more of what public health professionals and public health is all about.
Yeah.
And for me, public health is caring about health, but just on a community, on a larger scale.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of, medical professionals, doctors, surgeons, uh, other health professionals, nurses,
Yeah.
caring for a patient and having that one-on-one interaction with them, public health is all about doing that, but for everyone else at the same time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So it's more of an outward expression of caring for other people's health rather than maybe a little bit of in your own personal life. Is that what I'm kind of
Well, and it
understanding?
also has to do with prevention
Mm-hmm.
because there's two types. I'd say there's two types of way you can approach health. You can approach health from a prevention
Mm-hmm.
standpoint and from a treatment standpoint.
Okay.
Medical professionals and nurses, they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna that's the treatment standpoint.
Okay. Got
whereas
it.
public health is all about prevention.
Would you say RFK is prevention then?
Yeah, very heavy prevention, I'd say.
Okay, I don't know how familiar you are with it. I'm not super familiar
You know
with
what?
RFK.
And before I came on the podcast, I probably should have looked into him more.
That's all
I
good.
don't really have a strong opinion on him,
Mm-hmm.
other than the fact that I've heard that he wants to get rid of the polio vaccine.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think it's crazy.
Okay.
Personally, we've eradicated polio here in the United States. There's no cases of it.
Yeah.
The only cases of polio you're going to find are over in the Middle East with Afghanistan, Iran, or I think it's Iraq. It's one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
There's a reason that it's eradicated.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the polio vaccine. That's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Some other people might not believe that, but yeah.
Okay, I like that. I don't really know too much on RFK and what he's done, what he's trying to do. I need to be a little bit more updated.
And
on
I'm right
that.
there with you. So.
But I think that's cool that you know a good amount of knowledge on even that aspect of the polio vaccine. So good for you.
Thanks.
When did you start paying more attention to personal health and nutrition in your life?
It's also a really good question.
Okay.
Because I think about how I was, and if my friends watch this video, they'll know. I'm my family.
Yeah.
I was not a healthy person when I was younger.
Say McDonald's.
Anything but anything but healthy. I feel like it really came about when I was on my mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I served the mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and for 2 years I went and taught people about Jesus Christ and his restored gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was out there, I had met some people, some missionaries, and I kind of was introduced into this world of wellness and nutrition and diet.
Okay.
Which I had never really stepped foot in before my mission.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I felt like it really took off. It was on my mission.
Okay. And was that recognizing it through your companions that you served with, or just the people out in where you were in California? Was it just everything together?
Definitely my companions.
Your companions.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Something else too, is I was also scared of getting fat.
Oh.
I didn't want to get That's
one
fat.
of my fears.
I'll be completely honest.
Yeah.
I did not want to get fat.
Oh yeah.
I saw a lot of missionaries come home, and I remember what they looked like when they went out.
Yeah.
And then they got back, and I'm like, what on earth happened to you? You really let yourself go.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that to happen to me.
Yeah.
And so I felt like that was another reason. It was like a motivating factor at the beginning.
Okay.
So
I like that.
Hopefully does that answer your question?
That is answer the question. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I really like
Good.
that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, this is a fun one. Why do you believe public health is one of the most important fields today?
Well,
why is it important to you?
No. Well, no. Yeah, that's a great question. To do anything in life, you have to have people to do it.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like with computers, right? We have AI now, and AI is incredible, and it's super powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we have doctors. We have people that are doctors. We have people that are engineers. We have people that are teachers. And public health, like I mentioned before, is all about prevention. And there's certain things that I feel are taking away from our human capital in a way that can diminish. What would the word be? I'm trying to think, like productivity.
Okay.
Like productivity in a business.
Yeah.
Because maybe people are having to take off work to attend to their physical health because they're sick. Yeah. And that's because of some life habits that they have. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully that maybe answers a little bit of the question. Yeah. I think another reason why can you ask the question one more time again?
Yeah. So why do you believe public health is one of the most important
Okay.
fields to
Yeah.
go into? Why do you think it's
Yeah.
important that this people, the American people, need to be more aware of public health?
Yeah. No, that's, yeah. So another thing too is, and I'm all for medical professionals and treating cancer and treating diseases that are that do take lives, right? They kill people.
Mhm.
But I'm also very focused on what we can do to save the most people.
Okay.
And I think there's a lot of things um, that are jeopardizing the health of Americans today. And a lot of those things can be easily prevented. They're preventable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you don't need to seek medical care
Mm-hmm.
if it's something that you can take care of before.
By exercising, just eating healthy.
Exercising, having a well-rounded diet,
Mm-hmm.
also caring about your mental health as well.
Yeah.
Um, but I think another interesting thing about public health is it's not only focused about that part of health, it's focused about health disparities as well. And health disparities has to do with people that I like to think of it as people that don't have a fair access to health as other people,
Okay.
and factors.
Yeah. Would you say that's like maybe more foreign countries of people that aren't able to have those kind of health?
Definitely foreign countries,
Okay.
absolutely. But unfortunately, here in the United States, we have millions of people that suffer from health disparities every day.
Okay.
Whether that is access to healthcare,
Mm-hmm.
um, maybe it's the communities that they are born and raised in,
Mm-hmm.
their education,
Mm-hmm.
health literacy, things like that.
Yeah. It actually falls into my next question. I
Oh,
really like
wonderful!
that. I
Wow,
like that.
it's okay. It's almost like I planned for that
Yeah,
or something.
dude. I know.
Okay. Anyway, go for it.
Where do you think the healthcare system is failing when it comes to preventative care? Not the dog on the government. Or
I'm not a
anything,
big
but
fan of big pharma.
big pharma.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't even know what that
yeah,
is.
big pharma. So it's like a reference that talks about how, and I could be completely wrong about this, but this is how I see it. You have pharmaceutical companies
Mhm.
that are charging erroneous amounts of money
Absolutely.
to consumers and people that have to purchase their products, right? Their drugs.
Mhm.
Um, but a lot of those drugs that they're selling, I think a lot of people could avoid having to buy them if they just had better habits. So I almost feel like like pharmaceutical companies and yeah, mainly just pharmaceutical companies
Uh-huh.
are capitalizing on the sickness of Americans.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So that's where
Yeah.
I feel like our healthcare system is failing today,
Mhm.
because sometimes we're focused on these new measure or these new medications and drugs to treat these diseases
Yeah.
that are preventable,
Mhm.
and they make tons of money off it.
They do. And I think to go off of that, kind of similar to the COVID-19 experience and the
Mm-hmm.
vaccines, I remember hearing a lot of, I don't know if these were true or not, but when people would go to the hospital, they would sign for people that just got like certain medications or shots that they would just sign as a COVID-19 shot, because then that could give the hospital itself more money to go off of, I believe. I think I'm butchering it
Oh,
how it goes.
interesting. I
I just
didn't know
remember
that.
hearing about that, of each hospital was trying to get a certain amount of vaccines, that way they can get more money from the government to help provide for the hospital. That's probably completely wrong. I'm not too sure, but I just remember
Interesting.
hearing about that and I was like, oh, that seems kind of corrupted.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's kind of something similar. You're saying that the pharmacies are using it to generate revenue.
Personally,
Okay.
I do believe that. I believe that pharmaceutical companies are preying upon the sickness of
Yeah,
Americans.
that's interesting. It's super sad. Hopefully, that's not the way it is. That would really suck.
I hope it's not. I hope it's not either. I mean, I actually took a class where I learned that drugs themselves,
Mhm.
and this is where I can vouch for pharmaceutical companies. They cost millions of dollars to do research on a drug because you have to research its efficacy. Is it safe for people to take? Is it going to be effective, right? And so I can understand that. And so you have to have these people that make these drugs are very well rounded, very smart individuals, right? And you have to go through a lot of schooling to be able to manufacture these drugs. And
Mhm.
so it makes sense that they're like, hey, like we're researching these drugs and we're seeing if they're safe and that they can help Americans and help people in
Mhm.
their health, right?
Yeah.
We expect to be, you it's going to come at a cost.
Yeah.
But there's something that's referred to as like a generic drug and
Okay.
something that's referred to as a branded drug, I believe, or patent. I think it's patent.
Patent drug.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that
patent.
sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
patent. And that's where I feel like it can kind of get out of hand
Uh-huh.
is that these companies will patent their drugs
Oh,
and
interesting.
they set the value because no one knows how to make their drug. It's not generic yet.
Hmm. So they just price it really high because it depends
Exactly.
on how the drug is. Okay.
So,
Interesting.
and a question you might have to ask yourself is what about insulin, right? Because
Mhm.
insulin is not branded. It's not, but yet we pay so much money for insulin.
Yeah. That's you have to. This might be a really dumb question.
Hopefully, yeah. I don't know. Does any of
Yeah.
this sound familiar?
Yeah.
You've probably heard this before. I don't
Maybe I just
know.
haven't paid too much attention. So insulin, that is that not similar to plasma? Or is it insulin's fat, right? A type of fat of the body.
Insulin, I believe, is a hormone.
Okay.
Yeah, I hope
So it's a hormone. It's not part. Okay.
I hope I'm right about this.
Okay. Okay. Because I.
Insulin is the so we have receptors on your
Mhm.
cell. You have receptors on your cell,
Mhm.
and insulin will bind to those receptors and
Okay.
allow for sugar to come through the cell.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's why when you hear that people are insulin resistant,
Mm.
it means that their cell or that receptor for insulin
Mhm.
is not responding to the insulin. So
Okay.
sugar can't get inside the cell.
Okay.
So someone that's type 2 diabetic
Mhm.
is going to have I think, a lot of insulin, right?
Mhm.
Floating around. On top of that,
Yeah.
their blood sugar levels are going to be through the roof.
Yeah. You're completely right. I do remember learning that in my biology class.
Okay.
It's been a couple of years, so I'm a little rusty, but you're absolutely right. Okay. I just had to trickle in the memory for a little bit. You're right.
Plasma has more to do with antibodies
Okay.
because there's some people that don't produce certain antibodies.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So they need
and
the plasma from other people
yeah,
to
so
just use
I'm
it.
pretty sure, and then they can get it from other people.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
awesome. I really like that.
Yeah.
Sweet. How do you make eating healthy enjoyable rather than restrictive?
Also going back to the health.
Yeah, sorry, going back to health. I know kind of jumped around a
No,
little
no,
bit.
that was good. How do I make it enjoyable?
Yeah, because I know you eat a lot of salads.
Yeah.
You're huge on the eating very healthy foods. How do
Oh
you
yeah.
make it
I mean,
enjoyable? How do you change it up?
I'll be honest, the average person would probably be pretty disgusted by my diet.
Really?
Maybe,
Okay.
maybe. I don't know about. I mean, because I feel like around the apartment,
Yeah,
you
your
guys are
food looks
always like,
really
"Dang,
good.
your salad
Your
looks
food looks
really
super
good. It
good.
smells so good."
Yeah.
I can't tell if you guys are just making me feel good or.
No, it does. It looks delicious, dude.
Okay.
It looks really good. I like almost like kind of coveting it. I'm like, dude, I want that really bad. So
I really like adopting foods from other cultures, specifically
Okay.
like Mediterranean.
Mhm.
So areas in the world that are next to the Mediterranean Ocean, whether that's like Greece, Italy.
Yeah, that is so awesome.
Mhm.
Have you would you say Greece then is like the most
Oh yeah,
healthiest food that they got there because it goes way back to the ancient days?
the food of gods, the Romans. I don't know.
That's actually I haven't heard that term before. I like
Yeah,
that. Okay.
I think personally, and I've done a lot of reading
Yeah.
on nutrition and as far as what foods are considered most healthy for humans, right?
Yeah.
And I'd say it's referred to as a Mediterranean diet, but
Okay.
Greece itself does practice, I believe, the Mediterranean diet. And
Okay,
so,
I got to get into that. I honestly, your food habits inspire me to eat better. I mean, I was
well,
eating
thank
some
you.
hot dogs today, and I just felt terrible watching you make your salad.
And I felt terrible watching you eat those hot dogs. No, I'm just kidding.
I just had to eat something fast. I was hungry. I was getting a little grumpy, and I was like, man, I really want that salad. But I
You
was
know,
like,
you bring up a really good point though
Mhm.
about I need something fast,
Mhm.
and that's kind of a. I'm sorry, this doesn't really go.
No. Please do go on.
Okay,
Go on.
that's the cost of eating healthy, is that you have to be willing to sacrifice some time.
That is really good advice. I'm working on being a little bit more patient when it comes to cooking. So I know, like when we make food in the kitchen.
I mean, you made some pretty bomb donuts yesterday. That didn't.
Thank you.
That was a long process.
It did take a couple hours. The
You were in
bacon
the
takes
kitchen for a good amount of hours.
I
yesterday.
was. It takes a while, and it's worth the flavor. But at the end of it, I always feel bad because I know that I need to eat better and not eat so much junk food. I mean, genetic wise, my family we're kind of a skinnier people, but I know in the long run,
So
it's going to come
you're
back
the
with
people
me.
that everyone covets. Just kidding.
No, I feel like I'm far from it. I'm honestly a little too skinny. I went to Africa a couple years ago, and I came back, and I've been skinny since. So it's kind of, I just need to eat better. Is what I'm trying to say. But you inspire me, so I really
Well, I
appreciate it.
appreciate that.
Yeah. You said a little bit ago of your eating habits are they're a little bit of a sacrifice. They take time and obviously more time to cook and make.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Mm-hmm.
This question kind of goes with that. Can you walk me through a daily routine in your life of what you eat and do to stay healthy? What's your routine? What do you usually do?
Well, I guess I'll tell you what I ate today.
Okay, yeah, tell me.
Okay. So this morning I had a bowl of oatmeal. And I fluctuate. I usually do like 1% milk or fat-free milk, skim milk. Everyone thinks I'm literally diabolical for drinking that stuff.
That's awesome. No, that's good. That's good.
All right. If people can have their opinion,
Yeah.
just whatever.
That's awesome.
Anyway, and I usually have chia seeds with it. I like the chia seeds. I had some pumpkin seeds with it as well this morning.
Okay.
And then I had some PB2.
What is PB2?
It's like dehydrated peanut butter.
Ooh, okay. That sounds good.
Yeah. So I really like putting and I'm not opposed to eating regular peanut butter.
Yeah.
It's just a way to get maybe a little bit more protein,
Mm-hmm.
but then also have a peanut butter taste and less fat.
Okay. I like that. That sounds. And then for lunch and
That's
dinner.
breakfast.
Okay, that's breakfast.
That was just breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah. So then after I went to the gym today,
What'd you do at the gym?
I just did legs.
You said legs. Okay.
Yeah, I did some legs exercises, and then also did some just body weight exercises to target my shoulders and my triceps, and then my chest as well.
That's sweet. Because you usually go on the treadmill for a couple miles. You run about 6 miles every day. Is that right? Try to.
Like 5.5, 6.
5.5, 6. Okay, that's awesome. That's really good.
It's not every day. Every other day.
Yeah. Okay. It feels like every day that you do it. I'm just so jealous because I'm like I need to do better. I need to do better. But you inspire, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then for dinner, you kind of do salads as well. I saw you make some salmon today. It looked really good.
Yeah. So that was lunch. So for lunch, I made talking about Greece and the Mediterranean diet, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's called a horitaki salad.
Okay.
It has tomatoes, green bell pepper, red onion, kalamata olives, dill. There's some dill in there. You can also put some Dijon mustard in there as well.
Dang.
I really like Dijon mustard.
Yeah.
And then I put some goat cheese in there. You could switch it out for feta though. I think I might.
Okay,
honestly.
dang, that sounds good, man. It looked really good today when you were eating it, man. I was jealous.
And then I grilled some salmon, just I patted it down with some paper towels, and then put a little bit of salt,
The George
black
Foreman
pepper.
grill.
Use that George Foreman grill. Put some dill, oregano, olive oil, and lemon juice on it, and then grilled it.
I love it. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was lunch.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta take some note. That sounds really good.
Thanks. And then, since I donated plasma, I came back and I had to eat something that was high in protein because they basically just stripped me of all the protein I've eaten today.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so I ate some no-fat Greek yogurt.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Non-fat
Greek
yogurt.
Yeah,
Okay.
I really like Chobani. Chobani is really good. They have some good non-fat Greek yogurt.
Is that the
plain?
Is that the one you get at Costco?
Fair warning, it's plain. So you got to add stuff to it, or you're gonna think it's gross.
Yeah. Do you get that at Costco, right?
What?
You get that at Costco?
Well, I do get that. I do. So Costco does have a non-fat Greek yogurt.
Okay.
Which is really good. I love Costco's.
What's the one that you were just saying?
Chobani.
Chobani.
The one in the fridge, yeah.
I think I had Chobani last year. I had it in Utah with some friends, and it literally tastes. It's like almost bitter. Is that right? It's just not bitter, but it's got a.
It's an acquired taste.
It is an acquired taste.
Sure.
You have to add a lot of honey in there and oats and fruit to make it really sweet.
That's what I like to do. I like to add fruit.
Okay.
Some people add honey, and that's fine, right? If it meets your daily needs.
Okay.
But yeah, I usually will put berries, like frozen berries, in there.
Okay.
And then maybe a type of seed. Like today, I grounded up some flaxseed and put some flaxseed in there.
Okay. That sounds really good. I do remember I had that once last year, and I just had it plain by itself. I was like, dude, there's some yogurt. I like snagged some of it. I was like, what?
You can also drizzle some peanut butter or almond butter on top.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because I had a bite just by itself, and I almost gagged, and that's why I had to put something else in. I was like, wow, this is like not like yogurt.
An acquired taste.
Okay. That's funny. Okay, that's good. Okay, just a few more questions.
Okay, awesome.
Where do you see yourself in the future making a difference?
I would love to work for a government agency here in the United States, whether that's the CDC or the NIH. Just dealing with international and national health issues. International health issues would be very interesting. And I think a lot of good could be done as well doing that. But I think our country, even with how developed we are and how great everyone perceives us being, we have our problems. We have our challenges.
Absolutely.
And so.
Okay, so you see that in
that's what I'd like to. Yeah, that's what I think would be really cool. Maybe
awesome.
Maybe be working for a nonprofit.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Well, I'm not sure.
I like that.
We'll see though.
And you're getting close to graduating, so I mean, you could. Isn't a competitive field to get into that?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you can get a job pretty easily like that.
I think so.
Flash your bachelor's degree. Like, I'm here to make a move, and like, watch what I eat.
Well, talking about bachelors, usually people that pursue a career in public health end up getting a master's degree.
A master's, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So eventually I probably will receive my master's.
Are you you'll move out of Idaho, correct?
Yeah.
You'll probably go to Utah.
I don't want to live here.
It's cold here. It's cold.
It's too cold.
It's really cold. Okay. Nice.
I'm okay with the cold, but Rexburg cold, it's not it.
It gets negative here and it stays negative. Yeah. That's the hard part. Yeah, that's funny. I know this is the question you've been waiting for the whole time. Why do you believe soda is a major health problem? I know you do not like sodas, so you got to tell me why.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Okay.
Soda's delicious. It tastes great, right? You're going to have people that aren't going to like soda, and that's fine. But there's a lot of people that like soda, and it tastes great. Growing up, I loved soda. I drank soda all the time. Hence why I said my diet growing up was absolute garbage. And like I said, anyone watching this, they'd be like, yeah, Braden's diet was horrible. And he did drink a lot of soda. In fact, I had a lot of cavities growing up. And I think a lot of the cavities that I had was attributed to the amount of soda and sugar that I ate. Mm-hmm. But anyway, the question was why I don't like soda, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like soda because of what soda does on a biological level, or like on a physiological level.
Mm-hmm.
Because soda's made of fructose and glucose, and that's in its most ready state, and it can be absorbed like that, right? So you have a super high sugar spike.
Mm-hmm.
So people that drink it are going to get a huge boost of energy and then just crash, right?
Absolutely.
So there's that aspect of it. So if you're trying to drink it to give you some energy, don't drink soda for energy. I don't know. Anyway, and I like I was saying, on another physiological level, what it does to the brain.
Mm-hmm.
And because we have a reward system in our brain, and food can trigger that reward system and cause us to crave those foods that induce that reward system, right? And because of that, I think soda companies are preying upon the fact that they know their drinks are addictive. And they have no nutritional value whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
It's recommended that Americans get, I think it's 10% of total calories from added sugars. That's the maximum. Hey, you don't want to go above that. So, for example, that might be 35 grams or 40 grams of added sugar.
Mm-hmm.
A soda drink, like a can,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I don't even drink soda. I don't even know how much
I don't
that
either.
is.
I'm not a big fan of soda.
I know, but I know the nutrients facts of those suckers, and it's over 40 grams. It's like 50 grams of added sugar.
Yeah.
And so you're already hitting the max just with one drink. And that's not including everything else you're eating in a day as well.
A lot of people drink like 4 rock stars.
That's also
Red
a good
Bulls.
point. And that's not including the amount of soda that you drink in a day.
Yeah. Bangs and Starbucks, all of that stuff. I can't imagine.
Rockstar, Nos, Monster, and that's energy drinks. That's a whole nother thing.
And it's funny because I honestly want to add upon it because I don't drink soda. I don't like soda. I only drink it once every blue moon.
Do you think it tastes good?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. The ones here in America aren't my favorite. When I was in Africa, I really liked drinking the Coca-Cola there. It was pure sugar, so it tasted really good. It's very sweet.
I've heard the Coke in other countries, though, is just way better.
Oh, it's so much better. For some reason, the Coke here is just not that good, in my opinion.
I feel like that's with anything here, honestly.
Yeah, it's because it got fresh fruit. And
like the bread here is nothing compared to what I've heard the bread is, say, in like France or Italy or somewhere over in Europe.
I wish in America we have a lot of cool, authentic things here, but I wish we had more authentic. Like, in my opinion, what are
you talking about? We have cheeseburgers.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say.
What can be more authentic than that?
I was gonna say the only thing that makes I feel like America authentic is the hamburgers, the cheeseburgers, the barbecues.
I was joking.
The American dream. Well, that's what I see. That's what I see it in America.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's funny. I think it's funny that way.
Yeah.
But it's not authentic. You go to France and you get bread, you get croissants, you get the good, authentic French stuff and pastas. And then Italy, pasta, pizza.
I would love to go there someday so I could just try it.
Yeah. Greece and all their food.
I know. Their pita, their flatbread.
Man, that'd be so good.
It's good. Good stuff.
I love it. Okay. 2 questions left.
Okay.
What if you woke up one day and all the unhealthy foods disappeared?
I don't know what I would do with myself.
What if all of that, like in the entire world, all the food went away?
So here's another question. I have a follow-up question.
Okay.
Would all the unhealthy food... Wait, you said all the healthy food was gone, right?
Sorry, no, unhealthy food.
Oh.
All of the unhealthy food went away.
Okay. I thought about your question wrong. I'm sorry.
What if all the unhealthy... I may have said healthy. I meant to say unhealthy food. What if all the unhealthy food went away? What would that mean for the people in the world? What would that mean for you?
I think that would have drastic effects, personally.
How so?
Well, as far as health goes, there's a lot of variables. There's a lot of different variables. Mm-hmm. Exercise being a variable, right?
Correct.
So for someone to be healthy, it doesn't just include having a well-rounded, healthy diet.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? But diet definitely does go into it,
Yeah.
and can affect it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, just thinking about all the different foods, the different ultra processed foods, what they're referred to, industrially made foods,
Mm-hmm.
and those great foods that we were talking about that makes America so special.
Yeah.
uh, a lot of those are pretty heavy calorie dense.
Mm-hmm.
And if we didn't have all those options, I think Americans and people in general would be eating less calories.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, if we're talking like unhealthy foods, we're talking fast food, right?
In-N-Out gone.
Gone.
Chick-fil-A gone.
Just gone.
Cafe Rio gone. All that.
I think it would have a drastic effect. I think the rate of heart disease would go down.
Mm-hmm.
The rate of diabetes would go down. The rate of cognitive declining diseases, Alzheimer's, dementia,
Mm-hmm.
I think those would go down. High blood pressure
Mm-hmm.
would go down. Now, this is just
That sounds great.
This is just speculation.
That sounds great.
But yeah,
I like that. I wish as the American people, I wish we would work towards that. And I think our RFK right now, I think he's doing a good job, at least, of trying to show his body image of how old he is and exercising. He's like, hey, we can all look like this if we eat healthy and we do things correctly as the American people, and get away from the TV, the fast foods, making food fast when we want it rather than making it the healthy way. I think we need to go back to the way it used to be of eating healthy.
well, and I think there's some, just going along with that, as far as the fast food,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, I mean, because making a salad is fast.
Yeah.
It doesn't take too long.
Only a couple, maybe the most 10 minutes, right?
Right.
Depends.
Right. And there's some other options, other food options that don't take a long time to prepare. It's just the preparation in general that I think people have a hard time with.
Mm-hmm.
If any preparation at all, people are not about it, right?
Yeah.
But I think fast food restaurants could adopt that. I think they could become more healthy,
Yeah.
and not have this stigma for just these high calorie, low nutrient dense options, right?
Mm-hmm.
And be able to provide more healthy, whole food options for people. I think about a place, shout out to Aubergine down in, the one I go to is in Orem, Utah.
Mm-hmm.
That place is awesome. That place is great. And I feel like they offer these great vitality, very nutrient rich bowls of all sorts of things that get you the amount of protein that you need,
Mm-hmm.
good complex carbs, and healthy fats as well. And so I would love, I'm not opposed to the idea of like fast food and having convenient food,
Mm-hmm.
but I think something can be done to make those foods more nutritious for people.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're turning to and that's what they're consuming. But since they're not as nutritious and don't have as many of those benefits that you'll find with whole foods,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where the problem is.
I like that. I think you know what needs to be fixed, and I have no doubt in the future.
As you can tell, I think about this stuff a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe a little bit too much.
No, that's it. I think it's,
and I think everyone
awesome.
that knows me would say the same thing. But
I think it's so awesome, and I'm glad that we could have this conversation and this talk. I really appreciate you coming on and
yeah, absolutely,
and giving some insight on how we as a people need to eat healthier and getting more insight of the public health. I think it's really interesting. And again, like I said, you inspire me on how you eat really good, healthy foods. And I hope that this podcast influences people out there to eat healthier as we're all trying to become one united nation in eating healthy.
Yeah, and I was gonna say as well, like if you liked the content you heard today, like maybe I can post some of my recipes on my Instagram, and Ethan you can
I'll repost
put my Instagram.
it.
You can put my Instagram on the the bio
Oh,
or
absolutely.
on I don't know what's it called. You know when you make a post on Instagram. Oh, on the post.
On a story or
On the
something like that. Yeah. I could
on the
definitely
story,
do
because if people are interested in wanting, I'm not a registered dietitian,
that.
but if you want some advice and, like I said, some recipes, I'd be down to share that.
And what is your Instagram? So if people are watching and they want to
It's
find
just
you on
Braden
Instagram.
Latimer,
Okay.
all lowercase, no spaces.
I'll put it in the bio. That way people can follow you.
Okay,
But thank you so much,
sounds
Braden, for
good.
being on the podcast today. I really enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, this is the What If podcast, and thanks for listening today. And we'll see you next time.